Hello my loves and welcome back to my channel. Today's video we have a new pick a card reading, but before we hop into it I wanted to give a huge shout out to Skillshare who are kindly sponsoring today's video. And if you have not heard of Skillshare before, they're essentially a huge online platform full of classes upon almost any subject that you can think about. And Skillshare also has this section known as Learning Paths, which is a bunch of curated classes upon a particular subject. And these classes are intended to reinforce one another and build upon each other so that you can grasp a skill to the best of your ability. So whether you're wanting to dive into video editing, photography, opening up your own business, becoming a content creator, whatever it is that you want to do, Skillshare likely has a class on the topic. And I recently took a learning path all on photo editing in Lightroom, and I loved this class because I got to learn real professional skills in Lightroom, which is a pretty in-depth, complex app. And now I can edit photos with so much more confidence, and I feel like I fully understand the app Lightroom now. So I'd highly recommend checking that one out if you are into photo editing, or no matter what other skill that you're wanting to learn. Again, Skillshare likely has a class on the topic, and the first 500 people to click the link down below in the description box will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare, which you can take so many classes and so many learning paths within 1 month. So there's no reason not to check it out. And again, the first 500 people to use that link down below in the description box get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. And thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. And without further ado, let's go ahead and hop right back into today's pick a card reading. Hello my loves and welcome back to my channel. Today's video we have our new pick a card reading all about your life in 1 year from now. So if you are curious what you are currently attracting and what you're currently creating in your life and what you can expect to transpire within this next year, then you came to the right place. And the way that this video works is I have these tarot cards and oracle cards that we are going to read from, and we're going to ask Spirit to bring you messages for your highest good at this time. And you are going to use your intuition to pick one of these 5 groups. If you are drawn to multiple groups, there may be multiple messages within this video for you, so I'd highly recommend listening to both of those groups or all the groups that you are just drawn towards intuitively. And once you're done choosing, there's going to be timestamps linked down below in the comment box as well as the description box so that you can skip right ahead to your personal reading all about what your life is going to be like 1 year from now. I also want to mention that you are not bound by this reading. So if you hear anything that you're like, I want to change that, you have all of the power to do that. And that is one of the reasons why I love the tarot, because it makes us conscious and aware of what we're currently creating and what we're currently doing so that we can utilize more of our conscious awareness and our free will to make things better and to make things more in alignment with what we want. But maybe also you're going to pick a pile and you're going to be like, oh my God, that's exactly what I want. That's exactly what I'm creating. And then that's just confirmation that you are in alignment with creating exactly that. So I just wanted to mention that before we dive into all of this. I also want to quickly add, for any of you who have difficulties tapping into your intuition, one of the best practices is to close your eyes and wait for a number between 1 and 5 to pop into your head, and whichever number is the first number that just appears in your mind without you even thinking about it, that is your intuition speaking to you. And that's going to be the number and the group that is meant for you today. And that's just a little trick if you're having trouble visually picking a group. And just to clarify, over here we have group number 1, which has some peach Botswana on the top of it. Group number 2, we have some black Tourmaline. Group number 3, we have some Amethyst. Group number 4, we have some sunset aura quartz. And then group number 5, we have some Selenite. And for those of you that like to get close-ups of the crystals, we will also do that. So my group 1s, here is the peach Botswana. So if you are drawn to this crystal or this group, that is going to be your pile. Group number 2, we have some black Tourmaline. If you're drawn to the black Tourmaline, group 2 is going to be your pile. Group 3, we have this gorgeous piece of amethyst. So if you are drawn to group number 3, then that is going to be your pile. Group number 4, we have some gorgeous sunset aura quartz. So if you are drawn to this crystal, then group number 4 is going to be your pile. And then group number 5, we have this piece of beautiful selenite. So if you're drawn to the selenite, group 5 is going to be your pile. So those are our crystal options. Those are the pile options. So depending on which one you are the most drawn to, that's going to be your reading. Again, timestamps are linked down below so that you can skip right ahead to your personal prediction once you're done choosing your pile or piles, if that might be the case for you. And I will see you in your reading. And let's go ahead and dive right into today's video. All right, so my group number ones, if you chose this pile, this is going to be your reading. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Okay, my group ones, the first few cards that we have out here, we have Seven of Pentacles upright. We have the Devil card being reversed, which I love that that one's in the reverse position for you. We also have the Eight of Pentacles reversed. We have Eight of Cups upright. So it's really interesting. We have double eights and a seven. Then we also have the Ten of Cups being reversed over here. So your life in 1 year from now, you are unhinging yourself from different things that used to restrict you. Or this could also be letting go of fears, different fears that have been holding you back from stepping into what you really want to do with your life. And it's so interesting too that we have this Eight of Pentacles being reversed, because it's making me feel like perhaps some of you are stuck in something that you don't really want to do, or you're kind of pushing through because you know that it's just going to lead you to the end goal that you want. So for example, this could be like studying and you're just like, oh, it's so hard to study. It's so hard to, practice for these tests. But I know that I'll be able to move on to the career of my dreams as I get through this. It's like stuff like that where we kind of have to like push through. And I get the feeling like some of you in 1 year from now, you're going to be really pushing through to a really big end goal. And you're going to be able to leave behind some of all of this stuff that you're kind of going through right now, and you're going to be able to move on to bigger and better things. And I just see that you are preparing for like a bigger vision right now. And perhaps there's also a big transition that you are thinking about as well, because the Devil being reversed here, also with the two eights that we have, this can really indicate that you might really be looking forward to getting over and leaving behind the types of things that you're doing right now. And there's this energy that you're just really looking forward to leaving that behind and no longer ever having to look back or do that again. I get the feeling like some of you are definitely in school and you can't wait for that to be over. Or some of you are in a job right now that you don't want to stay in forever, and you are really looking forward to transitioning to something else. And I just see you just working really hard at the moment. And the fact that we have the Word Lord coming up as well, this makes me feel like either some of you are studying, or you're writing a book, or you are preparing for something, or learning a lot and making a plan. This could be making new plans, writing things, defining, what you want your life to be like, or again, just diving deep into studying or learning new skills or making plans. Like there's deep plans going on. We also have preparation, prayer, sacred ritual, the altar princess. You're really setting up your life for something new right now. And in 1 year from now, I see you making this transition and being like, oh my gosh, I get to leave this behind right now. I get to finish this. The fact that we have the 10 of Cups being reversed here also lets me know that 1 year from now, I do feel like you're kind of just going through this transition process and awakening in new chapters into your life, new things into your life. And that's really what I see kind of going on between now and a year from now. I do see also with the Seven of Pentacles, you're looking at these different seeds and you're almost looking into your future, getting really excited about it, but you're kind of like, oh, I just wish I could press the fast forward button and fast forward through more of this like difficulty and kind of blah, mundane things that sometimes we have to go through in order to get to a big goal. So that's what we have right off the bat over here. And let's go ahead and shuffle some more cards to get some more information for you and your life in 1 year from now. So we also have resourcefulness. So one thing I'm seeing as well is that you are getting a lot better with your resources, your time, and your money and your energy. So 1 year from now, you're going to be so much more aware of how much energy you want to put to certain things. And I also think you're getting much more resourceful with your energy so that you can get more done in a shorter amount of time. Some of you might be really interested in learning about productivity, and maybe you're like, ooh, I want to like study and learn how to be more productive. And that's like very much 7 and 8 of Pentacles along with the Word Lord. That's like so much of this like productivity type of mindset, learning how to really utilize what you have to get the most bang for your buck, or to get the most out of the energy that you use on anything in life. So I do see you being more resourceful in that way. I'm also seeing you be more resourceful with your money. So this can indicate that we are saving our money as well. The 7 of Pentacles here, it's like we're more focused on saving and watching it grow because it's giving us more satisfaction rather than just spending it on things that's like, oh, I only used that a little bit and then it was gone. You know, I feel like you're so much more aware of like how you're spending your money, how you're spending your time. And then we also have creation. There's something that I feel like you have in your mind and like a creative energy coming out 1 year from now where you are being much more creative. And I think that you're maybe prepping for a big project or a big idea in 1 year from now. This creation card is definitely making me feel like, yeah, you're ready to step more into the creative process. Devil being reversed, I also really want to come back to this because this has so many underlying meanings. For one, I think that you are unhinging yourself from old things that used to limit you or made you feel trapped or made you feel negative. And I do feel like this has to do with career or money for the most part because this is surrounded by our pentacle cards, which both deal with our money or our material items. And maybe we were also realizing like, oh, I was trapped focusing on all the material things. Whereas also 1 year from now, I do feel like you're going to be more focused on your emotional fulfillment. And you're going to be more like, you know what? I think I want to focus on what makes me happy emotionally, not what makes me happy monetarily, because maybe we're realizing that that didn't really bring us happiness. For example, if we're doing a job that pays a lot, but maybe we really hate it and it's not our passion at all, it doesn't bring us fulfillment, right? So it's almost like you're ready to find the balance between creativity, having money, being resourceful, creating abundance for yourself, but also focusing on what's going to bring you emotional fulfillment as well, because you do get to have it all. Let me tell you, you could choose something where it brings you all of those types of things. And I do think 1 year from now, that's going to be like one of your major focuses. So diving into our next set of cards here. Let's see. My group ones, 1 year from now. What else do we have for you? So we also have the Herald of Change, the Horseman. Ooh, horses, they resemble freedom. You are going to be so much more focused on your freedom. You don't want to be chained. And that's exactly what the Devil reversed has been indicating throughout this reading. It's like you no longer are wanting to feel chained by anything or stuck by anything or feeling like your life is in control of you rather than you being in control of your life. The horse symbolizes freedom. And the fact that this is the Herald of Change card, it's like you're really taking the reins of your life back, right? You're taking the reins of your freedom back. And that's exactly what I was feeling in this 8 of Cups card. It's like you're kind of ready to say no to something that, you know, maybe you once thought was for you, or maybe even you're just ready to let go of a certain phase and you're like, oh, I'm glad that that's done and over with. Like, I am so excited to close that chapter. And I don't see you despising that chapter. I actually see you being like, you know what? That chapter had its time and place, but I'm so ready to go on this next new journey. I am so ready to open up new doors, to call in more freedom. I'm also seeing more independence. It's like you want to feel more independent, more in charge, more of a leader rather than a follower. And that's very much also 8 of Cups. And it's interesting that this card has an eclipse on it, and that's really sticking out to me in this reading, so I wouldn't be surprised if around the next eclipse season, whenever you're watching this video is timeless, the next eclipse that is coming, I wouldn't be surprised if that's going to be a marker of this herald of change for you, where you kind of make new decisions and begin the process of moving in a new direction. I really think that, oh, sorry, notifications on my computer, forgot to silence that. I will go do that in a second. But anyway, it's interesting that we had the notification right when I was talking about it's you making plans and doing this big change. It's almost like a reminder, like, hey, this is coming up in your future. This is a reminder of like, hey, you've been thinking about this. Here's your reminder to go do it. Here's your reminder to take action on that. So we also have the Woodwives of Adaptability. During this next chapter, I do feel like you're going to be so much more flexible and so much more willing to step into the unknown, whereas before it might have been full of like fears with stepping into the unknown, which is like super common. But the fact that we have adaptability, it's like you feel ready and you're like, you know what, I can adapt to whatever comes my way. And I trust myself to navigate through any challenges, any bumps, any curves. It's like you just feel so much more adaptable. You feel so much more ready. And I really see you are seeking emotional fulfillment because you're realizing that that's one of the most important things in life. I also see, by the way, on top of this, like it seems over here, you are much more focused on like career, money, material things, or status, or just other sort of more physical life type of things. And 1 year from now, it's sort of like this realization of I've been putting my emotional satisfaction, my emotional wants and needs on the back burner, but that's all changing. That's all changing. Over here, 1 year from now, you're like, ooh, I think the most important thing to me now is focusing on my emotional wants and needs and desires. So I see you being more focused on that. I see you coming back to wanting to focus more on your important relationships, wanting to focus more on your like fun and play and pleasure, being in that more creative mode, being able to also express yourself and express your wants, needs, and desires. I also think that there might be something where a year from now, you're going to have to really express yourself and maybe lay down the law with something and create new like promises to yourself, or even have some sort of confrontation either within your work or within, this could even be a conversation that you have with yourself too, where you're just like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not going to throw all of my energy towards something that isn't bringing me emotional fulfillment as well. So I just see you doing all of these different things. Also, your prayers that you are saying right now, if you have been praying for something, if you've been praying for a break, if you've been praying for like wisdom on what direction to go in, if you've been praying for some answers in your life, 1 year from now, or at least I can say within 1 year from now, not even that you're going to have to wait an entire year, but within 1 year from now, all of these things are accumulating and you're getting your answers. You are getting your answers, and then you're going to feel like, oh, it is time to change. It is time to make a shift. It is time to call my freedom back. It is time to move forward. So yes, tons of different energies, tons of different events and all of that happening in your life through this next year. And let's go ahead and dive into our astrology cards to get any last information for you. My group ones. Any last information for my group ones? We have Cancer coming up, Cancer the crab. This can indicate that Cancer zodiac signs might be really prominent in your life. And it can also indicate that your intuition is going to be your biggest guiding factor within this next year. You're going to start listening to your intuition. And Cancer, again, is connected to the cup cards, our water signs. this is you wanting to focus more on your emotional fulfillment. And I also see you creating a much more solid version of you. If you think about Cancer the crab, it has a very hard external shell. So I feel like you are hardening up in certain ways, and the things that are happening to you right now are helping you harden up. And I don't mean harden up as in like creating like walls. I mean hardening up as like becoming so much more strong in yourself and protecting your emotional wants and needs by honoring them and caring for yourself. Cancer is a very nurturing type of energy, so I see much more nurture in your life as well. And there's a desire for deeper emotional connection, not like surface level connections. It's like you're so past that. You're so past like the physical kind of things, because you're realizing if it's just physical, it's not emotional. And you can have a mix where something is physical and emotional, and it's also passionate and fiery, which is the wands, and it also has a spiritual side, which is also the wands, and then it also has an air side, which is the sword cards, which is all about communication and thoughtfulness and intelligence and wisdom. You can have all of that. And look at that, we also have the solar eclipse coming up. And over here, this is a solar eclipse. It's the moon in front of the sun. So we have two cards now that are indicating that a solar eclipse is going to be a major time in your life. Whenever you are watching this video, I would highly recommend Google searching when the next solar eclipse is for you. Because that's going to be a very important date. And I would almost advise to set a reminder in your phone, just like my computer had that notification reminding me of something. Set a reminder in your phone to pay attention to that day, right? And pay attention to what you're feeling that day, because, or at least within that week of that solar eclipse, because sometimes, the solar eclipse, its energies last for a few days prior to the solar eclipse and a few days after. So that is a very potent time for you of creating massive change. We also have waxing gibbous, which is when the moon is sort of in its growth stage. This is alignment, refinement, nurture, patience, and evolution. This is the evolution of your soul. You're creating a massive evolution right now, my group number ones, and you're focused more on heart-centered things. It's no wonder that I was called to put Peach Botswana on your group, because this is the higher heart chakra is what it resonates with. And this is you wanting to step more into that heart-centered energy rather than just the physical, rather than just pushing yourself or doing what needs to be done or taking care of just responsibilities and just the physical aspects. It's like, no, let's nurture, let's feel good, let's create amazing emotional fulfillment. And that's going to be one of your biggest focuses in a year from now. And just so much more resourcefulness with your energy and feeling much more emotionally fulfilled, because you are now going to move into the energy of seeking that and seeking more of your freedom, so that you're not bound by things that you don't want to be bound to. So yes, you are going to be so much more adaptable, massive change. The solar eclipses all indicate massive change. It even says right here, embracing change, revelations, courage, determination, and connection. That's exactly everything that we've been talking about in this reading. So yes, that is what we have here. Thank you so much for joining me here for today's video, my group number ones. That is your life 1 year from now. I'm sending you all so much love, and until next time, bye. All right, my group number twos, if you chose this pile, this is going to be your reading all about your life in 1 year. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Group twos. So we have Knight of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, Temperance, Six of Swords, Queen of Wands, Three of Swords. Then we have the Ringmaster of Scrutiny, which is all about discernment, clear vision, and details. Then we have the High Lady of Love and Compassion, which is reverence, kindness, and consideration. So diving into your year ahead and what your life's going to be like, King or Knight of Pentacles here is such a card of dedication, moving forward. It is persistence in pursuit of a goal, in pursuit of a certain vision. And for some reason, when I'm looking at this card, I keep hearing the word promise. It's like you're making a promise to yourself, or you're making a promise to someone else or to your life or something like this, but there's going to be a really important promise that you are following and sticking to. So if you've been wanting to implement new habits in your life even right now, or if you've been wanting to make a certain promise to yourself, I see that that's going to be something that's really successful for you, and your persistence, your ability to stick through and to continue showing up is going to incredibly pay off through this next year. The Wheel of Fortune, this is going to start spinning the wheel in your favor. This is going to bring in good fortune for you. And I also see that your life is at a turning point. So you might be even feeling a little bit of this energy right now, like you're on the precipice of a turning point, or you're thinking of like changing things up, or maybe there's going to be something coming along within the next few months that is changing up your life in some way, shape, or form. Temperance over here, you are so much more focused on balance and filling your cup. Temperance is also a card that reminds us of moderation. So you may also be focused on creating more moderation in your life when it comes to your work-life balance, or when it comes to your emotional fulfillment and being able to nurture yourself and fill your own cup. Because how can we ever give when our cup is empty? A huge thing that you're going to be focused on and doing a year from now is you're going to have balance in your own fulfillment, being able to totally fulfill yourself. And I also see that you're going to be within this next year really focused on the different things that have been draining your sense of fulfillment or draining your cup. And those things I feel like are part of our Knight of Pentacles when we were talking about making promises. It's like these promises of I don't want to partake in those activities or do those things anymore that have been draining my cup. It's like you're really more focused on balance and how can you bring more to your cup and create better balance in your life. Also, temperance talks about getting to a goal. The huge crown that we have over here on the horizon, or you could look at this as just like a beaming light or whatever, indicates a goal. And I see you making progress towards that goal. Throughout this whole year, the different things that you are doing towards this goal are going to massively pay off. I can promise you that. Ringmaster also can be about making a promise or a commitment to yourself. If you think about a ring, what does a ring symbolize? It symbolizes a form of commitment. You're committing to something. And the Wheel of Fortune, it will rake in good things for you. There's a major transition coming up into your life as well with the Six of Swords. This is moving into better times, moving into a place where things are much more level. It's not just a bumpy road and going back and forth. If you had a wishy-washy energy previously in your life where maybe you started moving forward, but then you'd fall off track, and then you'd go back, go this way, swaying things. Or even if you have people in your life that seem to be very back and forth, in and out energy, look at 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And Six of Swords is sort of 1 foot in, 1 foot out. If you've been having people in your life that are that way, I see you having courage to release that and let that go. I see that that's no longer going to be part of your life a year from now. You are going through a major transition because Ringmaster of Scrutiny, there's a higher sense of discernment in your life, and you have a clear vision of what you want. You know the details of what you want, and you're no longer like settling or allowing things in your life that were not totally committed to your well-being and to your same vision, right? There's no more of this like in-out energy. It's kind of like either we work together, either we're on the same page or we're not, right? And Six of Swords can indicate that you're moving on and away from something that was negative for you, or something that was just a rocky ride that kept being unpredictable. You're moving away from this unpredictability. You're moving away from hectic challenges and being stuck in a storm, because this card kind of can indicate that we've just transitioned out of a storm. 1 year from now, You've left the storm behind. Whatever storm that you've been dealing with in your life, you're leaving it behind. And you've also been feeling an inner guidance to leave that behind. You've been feeling that because the person that's rowing the boat in the background indicates your spirit guides. It can also indicate other people around you. It can sometimes symbolize a physical, real person as well. So maybe there's also a physical person that's just been really encouraging you, really there to support you. And perhaps you're gonna have that as well a year from now, or at least within this next year. And this person's gonna be very supportive in helping you and encouraging you that it's okay to move on. It's okay to move to clearer times. It's okay to move to better weather, right? And I use that metaphorically. However, it can also indicate like more actuality as well. So there could actually be literally a move somewhere with better weather for some of you. However, that can most of the time be taken metaphorically, that you're moving out of the storm, you're moving to better times. So there is a huge transition that you're going to be making within this next year, and you're stepping into the Queen of Wands, the High Lady of Love and Compassion. I would associate this card a little bit more with the Queen of Cups. However, something is telling me that these two are very connected, and it's almost telling me like you're going to be a mix of the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Wands, which is very much like in your own lane. This is an energy of confidence, an energy of I know what I deserve and I have high standards and high values for myself. I also am like fun and social and excited and passionate. The Queen of Wands, she's so integrated. She takes care of herself. She knows she's beautiful. And it's almost like entering into a time of your life where you also like really feel sexy. And so 1 year from now, I'm getting this energy like you're just gonna feel sexy. You're gonna feel wanted. There's different things that are gonna be happening in your life that make you feel like a very desirable, very like glowing type of person, a very magnetic type of person. And I do see that you're going to be magnetizing beautiful experiences into your life. And I do see that perhaps even a year from now, you're going to have somebody that's really wanting to commit to you on a deeper level. Ringmaster, discernment, clear vision, details. You're becoming so much more discerning. And the High Lady of Love and Compassion, it's like you're really opening up your heart, ready to really receive, because you're also stepping more into your own confidence, your own beauty, your own light, which always existed, but it's like you're really able to see it. And I do think that the different goals that you have right now are really like, is so good for your soul. They're like nourishing for your soul. And this is going to be a huge part in why you all of a sudden feel this glow, this magnetism, this sexiness, this passion, this like inner beauty, this inner radiance. And I just see that this is like you entering a much more fun, much more passionate era of your life. But it's not the type of fun that's like not grounded. It's the type of fun that's like, I'm just living life more passionately because I know how. I know what's more fun. I am confident to be social, to laugh, to create more brightness in my life. Ooh, brightness is coming back, and there's a theme here. Some of you may be moving and there's more brightness in your life. It's like really somewhere that's brighter, somewhere that's more open and sunny. There's a sunflower here. So some of you are also going to be moving like that, or moving somewhere that can bring more of that. And then we also do have the Three of Swords. You are going to be healing from this thing that you are leaving behind, from the storm. We were talking about a storm, and this card is talking about that particular storm. I do see 1 year from now, like, you may still be going through that process of where you're going through that transition, and maybe sometimes you still think about like, oh, I did leave this thing behind, and you know, maybe there's a little bit of bittersweetness there. However, you are so much happier. Queen of Wands, she is so happy And even though sometimes she might still think of the past and be like, oh, yeah, that happened, she's also so excited to move on. She's so excited to be in her own lane. She's so excited to just blossom. This is the card of radiance and blossoming. The High Lady of love and compassion, reverence, kindness, consideration. You are stepping more into your High Lady type of energy, or even High Masculine type of energy, because no matter if you're a man or a woman watching this, all of us have a mix of feminine and masculine energy. And I just see you being so much more nurturing, so much more ready to like open up emotionally as well, and to accept people in your life that, you know, you're just more discerning of who you let in. You're so much more discerning of who you give your time to and who you give your heart to. Ooh, I'm also getting a message here that there's gonna be a lot of people that want to come into your life. And you might have to be like, you know what? Not quite the right match. Or this is you having confidence to say no. And you're no longer scared of disappointing people, because Queen of Wands, she's not scared of that. She is not a people pleaser. She's more in her warrior type of energy rather than in her servant type of energy. So rather than being a people pleaser or wanting to console other people's emotions because we're worried that they can't handle themselves, no, you're more in your own lane, and you're so much more aware of like, you know what, emotions help make us strong. So I'm going to be in my own lane and not worry so much about other people and their emotions and things like that, which does help us. You know, we do need to have a balance. Of course, it's amazing to be compassionate and all of that. And that's exactly what this one is. However, I do see you creating more balance, moving away from being a people pleaser, but yet still having compassion and empathy and kindness to people. And there is a fine line of that balance. And I do see you moving more into that particular type of balance. So let's see what else we get for you for your life 1 year from now, my group twos. Let's see, what do we have? So we have Hermitage, and we also have Darkness. And it's interesting that these ones literally flew up upside down. I don't know if you realize that. And a lot of the times, you know, oracle cards aren't really usually meant to be read upside down in any way, shape, or form. However, I am being called to the fact that Spirit meant for these to like flip up upside down, so we're gonna go with it. Anyway, Darkness and Hermitage. The darkness being upside down, the opposite of darkness is obviously light, which is exactly what we were talking about with our Queen of Wands. So whatever sort of like unknowns that you are currently facing, or any sort of like big questions that you might have, or if anything feels like it's still in the dark for you, that is now coming to light. I see you having a lot of epiphanies, a lot of realizations. This can also mean that things that were once physically dark in your life, such as like living in a dark home or living somewhere where it's always cloudy or anything like that, I'm seeing that you're going to be transitioning into a much more brighter, much more radiant, much more sunny time. I'm also seeing you really loving who you are, like loving who you are. So yeah, we have that. We also have the Hermitage. So the Hermit is someone who sort of like hides, or is in a cave, or is in their shell, or is more introspective, more introverted. And with this one being reversed, I feel like you are stepping into a time where you're wanting to be more radiant, more out there, coming out of your shell, being open and honest. I also see this as you opening your heart from it being locked down and disappointed. If you've been going through times where it just seems like you're never getting what you want, or it's always like a rain on your parade, or it's always cloudy, there's always a storm, there's always something happening, or if you've had doubts because of past hurts that have not been healed, this is going to be healed 1 year from now. I see you moving into a time of just being so much more open and healing all of those different things, okay? Let's dive into our next set of cards here. My group twos. group twos, group twos, group twos. This one wants to come out. We have opportunity, the caterpillar. Caterpillars, what do? They turn into butterflies. You are going to be going through a major metamorphosis over this next year, and there's going to be new opportunities coming into your life. You're going to be open to new opportunities because I feel like you're going to be able to reach new heights because you're the caterpillar that's transforming and going through a metamorphosis and becoming a butterfly. Now you're going to be able to move much faster, get to higher highs. And also the butterfly feels a lot more weightless. And so I feel like for you, life in general, I feel like is going to feel more weightless. I feel like these 3 cards want to come out. Let's go with it. Overflow, overwhelm, and plenty. So this is a card that indicates abundance, more abundance, filling up your cup. What was I talking about over here with our temperance? Overflow, overwhelm, and plenty. So overwhelm can be a good thing. And in this context, it's a very good thing because it talks about like an overwhelming amount of your cup being full, an overwhelming amount of fulfillment in your life. This is a card that's connected to our emotions. And for you, moving into this next year, I see that you're focused on things that are much more promising, cutting away things that have been a repetitive pattern, moving into much more kindness, compassion. We also have Moon, Maiden of New Beginnings, Lost Compass of getting back to integrity. So the lost compass, just like what I was pointing out with the Wheel of Fortune, with that sort of lost energy or repetitive cycles, you're getting back to integrity. You're laying down the law of, okay, I have more discernment and I don't want to just be a lost compass. I want to have direction. I want to have certainty. And anything that's no longer giving me sure direction and sure certainty, it's no longer going to be in my life. 1 foot in, 1 foot out. We no longer want that energy. If you have been 1 foot in, 1 foot out on anything in your life, it is time to make a choice. It is time to make a decision. And I see you making that decision because look, you're making this choice, you're moving forward. And yes, it might be like a little bit bittersweet because we've had to choose one thing over the other. But that's the most important thing, because if we can't choose, like, that's unfair. It's unfair to whatever it is that we're still only 1 foot in, 1 foot out. That's an unfair circumstance. So I see you coming back to a place of choosing. No longer ever settling for 1 foot in, 1 foot out. If it's 1 foot in, 1 foot out, it's probably a no. Because like, if you can't fully commit to it, it means that there's something that's not quite right there, right? So new beginning. Lost compass, getting back to integrity, getting back to your own integrity. So let's go ahead and shuffle some more cards here. We're going to dive into our astrology cards to get some more information on what is happening for you over this next year and what your life's going to be like 1 year from now. Ooh, this card's wanting to come out. Solar eclipse. This one came up for the past group too. That's so interesting. So the solar eclipse is going to be a major time for you. If there is any solar eclipses coming up in the near future, which, I mean, there's solar eclipses literally every year. So when is the next solar eclipse happening? This reading is timeless. So whenever you're watching this, go to Google and Google when the next solar eclipse is happening. And pay attention to that, because that's going to be a very significant time for you. We do also have sextile, which is a very positive aspect in astrology. It's all about integration, cooperation, tools, skills, ingenuity, harmony, and empathy. So you're gaining so much more like wisdom and tools and skills to attain more of what you want. The things that you're learning, the lessons that you're currently going through are teaching you how to move forward to achieve what it is that you really want. We also have trine, which is the strongest aspect in astrology coming up for you now. This is when things get so much easier. Ooh, the things that you're learning, the skills that you're learning, the promises that you're making to yourself, the commitments that you have, those are going to really pay off and create a lot more flow in your life. Things are going to get easier. Things are going to become stronger. You're really becoming so much stronger in your life. This is fluency, ease, talent, development, privilege, aptitude, self-comfort, temper, laziness, and intelligence. So when we have the trine, it's such a strong shape that we're able to relax and be a little bit more lazy because we are in the strongest shape, right? We don't need to struggle to get where we want to go. It's much more easy. We can relax into it. So that's another aspect that I wanted to point out there, but that is all about your life in 1 year from now, my group twos. So much more overflow. This new beginning, saying no to something, having that courage to let something go, stepping into your radiance, and saying no to anything that has ever been 1 foot in, 1 foot out. It's like, you deserve better. And also, if you've been 1 foot in, 1 foot out, it's like, no, you deserve to make a choice and not stay stuck in limbo. So yeah, lots of interesting messages here for my group twos. And it's interesting, we have black tourmaline. This is a protection stone. It helps protect us. So if you've been in any sort of storms lately, anything going on that you just felt like was a little bit chaotic, black tourmaline is a grounding stone and a protection stone. It helps us find our sure footing. It helps us get back to a grounded sense of being. And over this next year, I'm seeing you're getting back to a grounded sense, making those choices that are going to help you move forward, that are going to help bring in good fortune for you, overflow to a time of getting more abundance. And I do see a possible move for you, like a literal possible move of moving somewhere that's like sunnier and brighter and just overall is going to feel so much better for you. So that is, again, all the little recap of what we have going on over here. I'm sending you so much love. Thank you so much for joining me here for today's video. And until next time, bye. All right, my group threes, if you chose this pile, this is going to reveal all about your next year and what's going to be happening in your life 1 year from now. So let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, my group threes, we have Justice, we have the 5 of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, the 4 of Swords, and then the Ace of Wands. So starting off with the Justice card, in the next year, I see that you are going to be so much more forward and feel really comfortable being honest and expressing your truth and your opinions. I don't know if that's something that maybe you struggle with right now, or maybe it just makes you uncomfortable, but the Justice card is really making me feel like you are just becoming this really strong person who's also very balanced and who knows that they are right. If you ever feel at the moment like you question yourself and you're like, am I wrong for speaking my truth, or am I like wrong for doing this? Like this next year, you are really stepping into so much more like self-confidence, self-awareness, where you feel more comfortable as well laying down boundaries and speaking your truth, and also being honest with other people, especially if they're doing something that hurts you, or if you are wanting to get the truth out of somebody, or whatever the case may be. I just see you being so much more strong, so much more powerful, and this type of like confidence and this inner justice and this inner knowing that, you know what, I deserve truth, I deserve honesty, and I also deserve to feel comfortable expressing my truth and expressing my honesty. And this 5 of Cups right here is making me feel like maybe in the past, there was this energy of feeling like disappointed or sad when things maybe went wrong, or I'm almost getting this feeling like there might even be a relationship in your life, or there was a relationship in your life that always made you feel bad, even when you weren't wrong, but they maybe gaslighted you or something like this. And I'm sort of seeing that this energy is totally being eradicated from your life. You are stepping into this very strong persona where you're like, I'm never going to let myself be treated like that again. I'm never going to let myself succumb to those situations ever again, because I just see that you're going to have so much more self-awareness and awareness of other people and other people's intentions, which is going to be so beneficial. Even if this doesn't have to deal with another person for you, this could also be like internally always maybe feeling like questioning yourself, or there was some sort of thing that was just more disappointing, and I just see you bringing justice to that situation and overcoming it, being able to really overcome that that emotion that was holding you back. And it's interesting that we also have the prison wave, which is all about self-sabotage and poverty consciousness. So if you ever related to feeling like there was some self-sabotage where maybe you would ruin something before it got too good out of fear of getting hurt, or self-sabotage can also be when we never fulfill our goals because there's some sort of like fear standing in the way that maybe we weren't conscious of, and so we end up self-sabotaging. So if you relate to any of that, or if there's been any poverty consciousness, which basically talks about like a lack-based mindset, never feeling like there's enough, or worried that like, oh, this is the best it's ever gonna get. Like, look at this card. It's almost like this person's thinking like, this is the best it can ever get for me, therefore I should just settle for this. No, 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 my group number threes. Oh my goodness. This next year is going to be such a shift, such a change in your level of consciousness, your level of awareness. And the Justice and the Queen of Pentacles, both of these women are wearing this red gown with this gold crown and this green robe, okay? And the red symbolizes stepping into your power. That is you through this next year, stepping into your power. We're no longer feeling sad or victimized or anything like that. We're just calling our power back. We're like, you know what? I have the power to change this. I have the power to create great circumstances for me. And I am going to make things better. I am not going to settle for this is the best it can ever get, because it can get better and it will get better and it is going to get better because, again, you're stepping into your power. The green cloak that she is wearing here symbolizes claiming abundance. Green is the color of abundance. It's the color of fruitfulness. It's the color of things that are growing. It's the growth. So you stepping into your power, there's going to be so much growth for you happening over this next year. And then it's you putting on the crown, being the leader of your life, being the commander of your life. No longer feeling like life is in control of you. It's like, no, I call the shots of my life. I decide what my life is going to look like. And Queen of Pentacles, ooh, she is in her power. And look at all of the growth happening around her. Look at all the abundance and like the growth of the trees and the blossoms and the flowers. She is in a blossoming stage. And also Queen of Pentacles, the Pentacles are the strongest, most sturdy, most reliable, most material aspect of all of the elements and the suits of the tarot. So when we have the Queen of Pentacles, she's the queen of her material world. She's stepping into her mastery of manifestation. If any of you watching this video right now are into manifestation in any way, shape, or form, or maybe you've been trying to manifest something, Queen of Pentacles, I feel like you're going to be really gaining a grasp on manifestation, and you're going to see physical results coming into your life over this next year of your manifestations manifesting. These are manifesting. And Queen of Pentacles, she's sure. She trusts the process. She also trusts herself, and she's very stable. So I also wouldn't be surprised if whatever poverty consciousness you might have had, or feeling like maybe your finances weren't where you wanted them to be, Queen of Pentacles, she's abundant and she has growth. She has abundance, just like her robe, just like all the plants growing around her. So I really see you getting out of this prison that you feel like you are maybe in, this prison of your circumstances and feeling like life has just had its hold on you. No, oh my gosh. Justice is being brought to that, and things are evening out. This is also when we're raking in good karma and when things balance out. So if it felt like the scales were tipped, the scales are now tipping into the other direction. So instead of over giving, now it's over receiving, and vice versa. It's the balance. Things are now balancing out. Queen of Pentacles, she takes care of herself. She nurtures herself. She also is much more stable and fulfilled in her career and also in her material world. This card is also making me feel like you are going to be surrounded by more beautiful things next year, or at least within this next year, you're going to be accumulating different material things that you're just like, whoa, I never knew that I could get that because I never gave myself the chance to be that or to achieve that. And I never thought I could do that. And I see that in 1 year from now, if you look back on your life, 1 year from now, you're gonna be like, oh, I actually would have never imagined that I would have this, that I would own this, that I would have this sort of income or other things like that. Like, I'm seeing this as a card that's indicating more balance with money, more material assets or other things that you're surrounded by that make you feel really good. They make you feel like really proud that you've achieved that. And I'm really seeing that you're doing it on your own. This Queen of Pentacles is this energy of independence. And it's this energy of the person who's doing it all. You know, they're focusing on their health and well-being. They're focusing on their family and their relationships. And they're also focused on their career, and they're also focused on their foundation, their abundance, and their safety and security. They are focused on all the, they're very well-rounded, basically. Then we also have, the Four of Swords. This is a card of rest and relaxation. So also within this next year, I feel like you're able to let go and relax. Especially I'm hearing the message if any of you have struggled with overthinking or anxiety or lack of sleep or feeling like it was just really hard to find time for yourself. This is a card letting me know that in this next year, you are finding time for yourself. You are able to find time to rest and relax and rejuvenate. And I'm just seeing that that's going to be something where you're able to also rest at peace with something. I'm not saying that in the way of like RIP in the negative way. I don't mean that at all in any way, shape, or form. The way that I'm meaning this in is with something that used to overwhelm you or give you anxiety, you're now able to rest. It's no longer bothering you. It's like, oh, that's okay now. I'm fully good with that. And like, you're just feeling so much better. We also have Ace of Wands here. This is a new inspiration birthing. This is a new growth. This can also be where we awaken to new spiritual ideas or we're on a new spiritual path. This can also be when there's just a whole new passion awakening within us, a new beginning, something new that's awakening our inner flame and our inner fire. So that's also something that I see happening. And it's interesting that the Ace of Wands, you know, it has all of these leaves, which is reminding me of how connected it is to the Queen of Pentacles, which is all of this growth, this abundance. Your ideas are going to feel so much more prosperous and they're going to feel so much more alive to you. And I just see this new idea kind of coming out of nowhere. This might be even an idea that you're not even aware of in any way, shape, or form right now. However, a year from now, there's going to be like these new inspirations, these new ideas coming through that are going to feel so much more in alignment with you. Okay, then we also have the Arrow Master, hitting the mark, intention, and detachment. Ooh, the Arrow Master, you're going to have your sights set on goals, targets that you want to reach. And I see that because the Arrow Master, this is kind of like the manifestation master that we were talking about here, hitting the mark. Being able to set an intention and knowing like, hey, I got this and I know I can achieve it. And there's this type of like relaxation with the word detachment because we're not like no longer feeling the lack mindset of the prison waif. We feel like, you know what? I'm detached. I trust the process and I know and trust in my skills to get me there. It's like you're really stepping further into your power and much more with clear intentions, and you're also able to hit the mark better. You're able to meet your own standards better rather than feeling disappointed by certain things. It's like we're able to hit the mark, we're able to nail it. You're nailing things in this next year that maybe beforehand you were kind of struggling with. So yes, We also have the Swan Queen, transformation, intuition, patience. So you're going through a massive transformation. Yes, you are going to be more tapped into your intuition to help guide you. And that's also very much what the Four of Swords is. It's very intuitive, tapping into your intuition, being able to reflect and then get answers. It's also a very meditative card where maybe we're taking on the practices of meditation, and maybe they're helping us with attaining epiphanies, getting the answers that we need, moving forward, or even just getting the rest and relaxation and personal time that maybe we really need right now. So I see a year from now, you're just much more tapped in. You're trusting your intuition so much more. You are really more in your power and doing this huge transformation, because before maybe we were impatient. Everything was not working out. It was feeling ugh, and we were stuck in this lack mindset. And then over here, it's like, no, we're in our power. We're detached and we keep hitting the mark because of our relaxed attachment, and we're getting what we want. And the things are manifesting. You literally are going to be owning things that right now you're kind of like, you're really wishing for. I see that you're wishing for certain things, but perhaps you don't even see how it's possible because you're like, I don't have enough. I don't know how I'm going to make that happen. But over here, Queen of Pentacles, she's like, I did it. I literally did it. And you're not even stressed about it. You're like relaxed about it. You're just like, I did it. Here it is. I'm surrounded by this. This is natural for me. It's going to feel natural for you to have those things. It's interesting that you also had the Amethyst on this group, because Amethyst is a royal stone. Any purple color was actually like associated with royalty for really long periods of time. And amethyst used to be worth more than diamonds. And amethyst is also a stone that helps us detach and let go of things that are no longer serving us. And it helps us call in more of our internal royalty, our internal value, our own leadership, being the sovereign being of our own life. Amethyst is such an amazing crystal for letting go of anything that's no longer serving you and stepping more into your power, which is exactly kind of what we have going on over here. So anyway, diving into some more cards, let's go ahead and take out one of my favorite new decks, this Egyptian Gods deck. And let's see, what else do we get for you? Your life next year, what else is going to be happening? Union and power, ooh. You're going to be also connecting with other people that really uplift you, that are also on your same vibe. And again, we have this power theme of you stepping into your power, but the union card is really sticking out to me as well. And this lets me know that you are going to be attracting like-minded people into your life that are no longer resonating at this Five of Cups level. They're instead resonating at this Queen of Pentacles level, just like you. And they are people that honor honesty. They are people that are also strong and say it like it is, and they also want to be surrounded by other people that say it like it is, rather than, you know, having people that tell you what you want to hear, but it's not like helping you in the long run, right? I just see you being surrounded by much more like in their power type of people who also are just very supportive and like inspiring, and they have the same values as you. Anyway, we also have Ra, which is the enlightening card. This is also like the sun god, Ra. And this is you stepping into your radiance. This is you stepping into enlightening times of like, oh, now everything makes sense. Also, the sun deals with our ability to shine. And it's also the manifestation energy. We have all of this red. Red is like your color. If you are drawn to red at all in any way, shape, or form within this next year, this is a symbol of you stepping into your power. And we also have like this Ra symbol actually going on right here as well within this card. It's like at the top of this one. So anyway, this is you stepping into your power, into more of your ability to shine and to take action in your life, because the sun, Ra, is about taking action, movement, moving ahead, letting things go that are no longer serve you and letting the sun shine. This is about you also stepping into the confidence of letting your authenticity shine, right? No longer feeling like we need to hide it in any way because we are just comfortable shining. We're totally comfortable with that. We're comfortable being ourselves and expressing our truth, expressing our authenticity. Let's see, what else do we have happening for you next year, within 1 year from now? My group threes. My group threes, my group threes, my group threes. Let's see. What do we get for you? These cards are not wanting to talk too much, but let's see. My group threes. There we go. There we go. Beloved. So radical acceptance. I see you just accepting so much about like where you are possibly right now or where you were in your past and feeling so comfortable and good about letting it go and moving on, moving forward. We also have lost in space, needing direction. I feel like this is a little bit of a reflection of possibly how you're feeling right now. And we also have the falling angel, spiritual narcolepsy. Narcolepsy is when we like randomly fall asleep. Wow. There's a theme here about you wanting more sleep, needing more sleep. Maybe sleep has felt not as fulfilling lately. Like somehow we're waking up a lot or other things like this. I see that next year or within this next year, your sleep is going to be improving. And I really feel like it's because you're letting go of all of this stress or the negativity that was kind of over here, and we're able to turn around and see the opportunity and take advantage of the opportunity that's sort of sitting there, but we don't see it right now. When we're in the Five of Cups era and in this energy, we're kind of looking at everything that's tipped over rather than at the things that we could take hold of right now and the good things that we could focus on. So I feel like gratitude is going to be one of your best practices in shifting your energy and stepping more into your power. And I know sometimes gratitude can sound just like such a simple little silly thing that's just like, what kind of power does that really have? I know it can sound like that sometimes. However, if you look into any of like the great thinkers, the great minds, the great spiritual leaders, they will all talk about the power, the amazing power of gratitude. And there's so much power within it. And guess what? Gratitude's free. Anyone can do it at any point in time, and it will transform your life if you dive into it and you really stay consistent with it. So anyway, that's just something that I'm going to throw out there. Whether you're willing to pick that up or not, that's up to you. But I just get the message that gratitude is going to be something that can be so transformative for you. Maybe it's something that you already practice, and I'm just seeing like that is something that Spirit is like, yes, that is going to be amazing. You are going to see transformation with that if you choose to practice it. So anyway, I just feel like it'll speed up your transformation. And then as well, we have beloved, radical acceptance. I'm just seeing you being able to radically accept where you are. And then lost in space, needing direction. This is where this was. This is all of this energy. Okay. And then I also see in 1 year from now, I think so much is going to change for you that you almost will be at one of these points again where you're kind of like, where do I want to go now? It's sort of opening up a fresh page. However, I don't feel like it's going to be this energy of feeling lost. I feel like it's going to be more of this grounded, calm type of energy that's like, I've done all of that. What do I want next? Like it's more like a wondering excitement of like, ooh, what do I want next? So I do see that theme kind of coming back a year from now, but it's a much more positive because you're just in a much more positive place a year from now. So this is going to be much more, positive. Anyway, spiritual narcolepsy, we talked about that one. That's all about you getting much more sleep and honoring your time to relax. You may also, I'm seeing if some of you have been really wanting to manifest like time off and to take a vacation, I am absolutely seeing that that's going to be manifested for you within this next year. Okay. 10th house and Leo, I achieve. And then Leo, which is connected to the sun, which is connected to our raw energy that we were talking about just earlier in this card. And Anyway, Leo could be a prominent zodiac sign in your life over this next year. You may even be a Leo, but even if you're not a Leo, and even if you don't know a Leo, the Leo energy, this is talking about the energy you are stepping into, which is much more inspired, it's fiery, it's confident, it is radiant, it is the energy of the sun. So it's you stepping more into that spotlight. This could also be where we are attracting more clients, more energy, more recognition for what it is that we're doing. We may even have a spotlight moment happening within this next year, especially since we also have the 10th house. There definitely could be this spotlight moment that you're having where you might achieve something that's really great and you're getting recognition for that particular achievement. The 10th house deals with our career and our goals or any other big aspirations that we have, and it's mostly centered around like our material world, so like our money or again, our career or other sort of achievements like rewards or recognition, things like that. And anyway, Leo just enhances that energy by putting us more in the spotlight. So the fact that we have those two cards coming out, there is something here where we're like attracting more abundance. We're attracting more recognition. I do see that you might win or get to a big milestone and possibly even win some type of award of some kind. This could be like an award for, you'll know how that applies to your life, but there might be some sort of award that you are winning. And then we also have waxing crescent, inspiration, creativity, growth, accomplishments, and learning. The waxing crescent is when the moon is growing and it's in its growth phase. So this is you. Your next year is all about growing into more inspiration, more creativity, growth in general, accomplishments, which is what we were just talking about with our 10th house and Leo, and then learning. So there's tons of learning, tons of growth. And I'm seeing this learning being like an inspiring learning of like, ooh, I want to know that. I want to develop this skill. I want to do that. Like, I'm almost seeing you learning something to expand your career in some way, shape, or form. And that's going to be really exciting. And I do see, again, some sort of like accomplishment, milestone, award, recognition, something like this is happening in this next year for you. And I feel like it's going to open up more doors and more opportunities, and it's going to be very fun and exciting. So that is what we have here, my group number 3s. Thank you so much for joining me here for today's reading. I cannot wait for you for your next year. It looks like there's going to be tons of transformation and just a lot of energy moving forward and all of that, and stepping more into your power, which I love for you. I love that. So I'm sending you so much love. Again, thank you so much for joining me here. And until next time, bye. All right, my group number 4s. If you chose this pile, this is going to be your reading all about your life in this next year. So let's go ahead and dive right in. My group 4s, my little sunset aura quartz group. Let's just get into this. This is really exciting. So 1 year from now, we start off with the 6 of Wands and then the Knight of Wands. The 6 of Wands is a celebration. People are celebrating you. This is a time where we are getting recognition, or we are in the spotlight, or there's just something happening around us where people are like cheering us on. They're celebrating us. They're really proud of us. And we're kind of like able to ride through town up on our horse being like, yeah, I did it. Here I am. This is it. So this, for example, could be things like weddings or a graduation or a huge milestone in work where maybe you publish a book and everyone's like, oh my God, you did it. Or like something like this. There's some sort of big milestone that you're reaching, some sort of big celebration that's going to be happening within this next year for you. The Knight of Wands is this energy of a lot of excitement and spontaneity, and it could be this new thing that we're so excited to leap ahead on. It can also be when energy is moving really fast, and when we make a new decision that we're just so excited about. We're on a journey that lights us up. And the Knight of Wands can also sometimes indicate moving occasionally. It can sometimes indicate that. So I do feel like for some of you watching this, there may be an opportunity to move somewhere new, to move to a new home, to upgrade in some way. But the Knight of Wands also is just like a quest, a journey that just lights us up, and we're so excited to move forward. So this could also be like traveling, like an opportunity to travel, or an opportunity to step into more freedom, or like a project or an opportunity that we're so excited to be like, yes, let me dive right in. This is exciting. So there's definitely energies like this. I'm getting the feeling for some of you, this could also be some sort of like promotion, or again, hitting a big milestone that's like, yeah, and then it just reignites us. The 10 of Wands being reversed, I love that this card came up reversed for you, because this is letting go and able to let go of some things that were really heavy for us. This could be like carrying too many responsibilities, having way too much on your plate, to the point where it's kind of like, we can't really do that just on our own anymore. So I do see in this next year, there's gonna be people in your life helping you out. And we can share some of, our responsibilities and feel a little bit more at ease. Or we're just able to at least let some of them go, because we're like, okay, I'm done that chapter. I'm done the long haul. I'm able to breathe a little bit, and things feel a little bit more sustainable as well. I think you're getting to this point where you no longer want to feel overburdened. And I think you're noticing that when you say yes to too many things, it comes at a compromise to yourself. And over this next year, I just feel like you're much more willing to say no. And it's easier for you to say no. And we don't need an excuse for the reasons why we say no. Sometimes a no is just a no, and it's just a no. And you're totally justified for that. That is absolutely okay. And I just see you being so much more confident in yourself to say no, to step more into your freedom, to step more into the things that feel really good for you. Page of Cups being reversed here can also be that no type of energy when an opportunity comes our way and we're just like, you know what, I don't need to say yes to everything. Let me just say yes to the things that do feel in alignment, or the things that I actually need, And other than that, it's like, if it can be said no to, let's just say no to it. We don't have to do everything. And I think that you're realizing that you don't have to do everything, which is going to be such a blessing for you. And then that's going to open up an entirely new realm for you. The Moon card is when we're stepping into something new that we've never even stepped into before. I feel like this milestone that you're reaching, this big accomplishment, this celebration that's going to be happening, is a doorway into a brand new era of your life that you have never explored before. It's going to be entirely new, and that's what the Moon indicates. It's like an entirely new thing. And I do feel like there's excitement. You may be nervous at times, because anytime that we're stepping into something new, there tends to be a little bit of nervousness, or sometimes we're like, there's a couple fears that might come up, like, oh my God, am I going to do a good job? Or like, what awaits me around this corner? What are the challenges going to be? Like there might be some thoughts like that moving into this next chapter. However, I am getting a very positive feeling from this group, especially since we're starting off with these cards, and also the ability to say no and let go is coming through. I just really see entering this new phase with a lot of like positive energy. And again, it's just something you've never stepped into before. So it's going to be very exciting for you. If this is a graduation, it's like stepping into the workplace, and we've never done this job before, and it's totally new. Or maybe it's like getting married, and then we're just like, oh my God, I'm like maybe starting a family, and that's totally new. Or whatever the case may be, there's a big accomplishment, and then the beginning of something completely brand new for you. And I actually feel like shuffling the cards and putting one more card onto this, just to get a little bit more definition about this new phase that you're stepping into. Ooh, Death card being reversed. Okay, so this is you shedding just kind of the old. And this is definitely going to be a time where the old version of you is changing. And I see you going through an era of maturing and welcoming in this new phase, and it's sort of like needing to shed your younger self, or at least just the self that's outdated. I don't want to use the word younger self, because I feel like we're always young, you know what I mean? But like at least shedding the aspects of you that no longer resonate. So again, for example, when we get married or something like that, maybe we're like shedding the younger self and stepping into that more mature self. Or when we're graduating and going into the workforce, it's like there's an aspect of us that definitely changes along with that. And I feel like for you, the reason why the Moon is coming up is because I don't even think you're going to be able to foresee the changes that are coming for you, but I do feel like they're extremely positive because you're stepping into this stronger version of you that can say no, and also is able to get more of a breather in, not feel overloaded. Okay, this next year, you are not going to feel overloaded, and that's going to be something that is so beautiful. And I do see this like reinvention of yourself happening around this time, and I feel like it's this excitement about reinventing yourself. And I feel like you're even going to be feeling this way moving into this next chapter, right? It's like this excitement of like, ooh, this is going to be so fun to like reinvent myself, to change, to step into this new chapter, this new era, and just explore that. And again, yes, I mean, all of us, when we're stepping into new chapters, there can sometimes be a little bit of like hesitations of like, oh my God. But at the same time, like, that's such an exciting feeling. And I feel like for you, it is going to be exciting. It's going to be totally exciting. And I'm so excited for you, even just reading this, like what we have here, reading this reading for you. I'm so excited for you because I can kind of feel the energy of what you're feeling. And although I feel like you're going to have a lot of questions moving into this next phase, there's going to be a ton of questions going through your mind. There's this feeling of excitement about it. This feeling of like, oh my God, I can't believe this is my life now. I'm stepping into here. And I feel like, you know, you might even be asking a lot of friends like, oh my God, like, what did you do when you did this? Or, you know, what was the experience like for you when you stepped into this new chapter? You know, you're just going to be you're going to have a lot of questions, but it's coming from this like really good place, like really exciting place. And then we also have the Four of Cups being reversed with the opportunity being seen. So I love when the Four of Cups shows up reversed, because when it's upright, we're looking at all of these cups that are sort of just like average. They're the cups that we see every day. You know what I mean? And when this card is reversed, there's a new opportunity coming in, an opportunity that we could have never guessed, we could have never seen, we could have never predicted, because it's out of the blue. It's literally the blue. It's out of the blue. There's going to be an out of the blue opportunity. This could even come in the form of like an idea or a surprise, or like some other happenstance, some synchronistic happenstance that's going to lead to like an entirely new something, an entirely new surprise, an entirely new chapter. And I feel like it's going to be so good. And like, this is something that's meant to be. This hand coming out of the sky, like, this is the universe bringing you something that is meant for you. This is something that's meant for you. And it's a happy surprise, but it's something that you're going to be like, there's no way I could have even predicted that. It's going to be that kind of energy coming through this next year. Okay. We also have the Rainbow Prince, compensation and perseverance. Compensation. You're reaching a milestone and you are going to be rewarded for that milestone. There's some sort of reward coming in for you. Perseverance, you're sticking through. And I do feel like this is talking about how you've really stuck through, maybe carrying a lot, maybe being able, like, really doing a lot. Because maybe it's just like so many things were happening at once. This could be about your energy right now, or it could even be about the energy in your very immediate future, right? But this is about to let up. This is about to release, because you're going to be able to release some of that and let it go and be able to catch your breath, have a breather, have breathing room in your life to just relax, be at ease, and be at joy. This energy is the energy of joy in your life. And Rainbow Prince, the rainbow, there is going to be blessings coming into your life. I feel like there is a surprise blessing coming in this next year. And again, it's like an unpredictable, it's something that you would have never even guessed. Okay, we also have the Web Weaver, synchronicity, and I was just talking about the energy of synchronicities probably like 2 minutes ago. Then we have divine intelligence, and then cause and effect. There is things that are weaving in your life right now that are leading to like this new chapter being created. You are weaving this web right now. There is divine intelligence in order, bringing you right where you're meant to be and bringing you something that is so meant for you. This is so meant to be. We also have the Shadow Queen, acquiring knowledge, insecurity, and manipulation. The Shadow Queen is making me feel not the manipulation energy or anything like that. This is actually making me feel the surprise, the thing that's like the moon. It's unknown. And then all of a sudden it's known, you know, it's out of the shadows. Once it's out of the shadows, it's known. But the shadows is the moon. Whenever it's nighttime, when the moon is out, there's a lot of shadows, there's a lot of darkness, there's a lot of unknowns. And I'm not saying that your life is going to feel like darkness, but it's going to feel like stepping into the unknown, right? Just like what we were talking about. And there could be a couple insecurities that come along with that. However, even when we're stepping into sometimes the best things, there can always be accompanying insecurities. You know what I mean? Like imagine getting the job of your dreams, but then it's your first day and you're like, oh God, you're like insecure. You know what I mean? It's like such a blessing, but even though it's a blessing, it can come with its own like unknowns and like nervous energy and things like that, even though it's a really, really positive thing. So I want to emphasize the positivity because I don't want to put out the energy like, you know, like there's something negative, because there's not. Like it's just so positive. But yeah, that's where like the insecurity energy that I'm getting is coming from. So anyway, with that being said, let's dive into some more information about this next year for you. We have the card of understanding. All of it's going to start to make sense. And I feel like you're going to get to this place where like, as you step into this new chapter, your answers are just going to come to you so naturally. For example, starting that new job or starting that family or that new chapter, whatever it is, starting whatever that is. All of a sudden, all this understanding is going to come through. This enlightenment is going to happen. The path, okay? So this symbol is all over Egypt. This woman, I forgot her name. But anyway, she resembles like the stars, our sky. She's like kind of the goddess of the sky. Or that's probably not actually. But anyway, so that resembles our guidance. And it's sort of like you're here on this boat and you're being divinely guided, and it's going to lead to this understanding. Like as you step into this new chapter, I feel like your answers are going to be divinely answered. And you're just going to figure it out, and it's going to be like, oh, okay, that was great. You know what I mean? Like you start that new job and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I get it. I didn't even need to be nervous. This is fine. I'm fine. It's that type of energy, realizing that you're totally okay and that it's just, this is everything that you've been wanting, right? This is like totally it. So anyway, diving into some more cards here. Let's see. I feel like these two want to come out. So we have change, and then we have death and rebirth coming out. I'm laughing at the synchronicity, the fact that we have Osiris, which is death and rebirth, and the fact that we had our death and rebirth right here with this card being upside down. And yeah, the change. So you're going through massive change. You're going through a death and rebirth. There's going to be like the letting go of that old you and the total rebirth of the new you. So Spirit wants to reiterate that message a little bit for you, that in this next year, there's like, yeah, you are letting go of the old you, but it's going to be so divine and so beautiful, and you're going to rebirth as this new version of you, that there's a celebration here. And there's an exciting energy of like, woohoo, the Knight of Wands. Oh my gosh. I just keep seeing you going, woohoo, like, oh my God. And it's also like momentum. It's fast-paced energy of like, yeah. And it's like excitement and yeah. Anyway, so let's dive into some more cards here. We have Watchers, transpersonal. I feel like a lot of people are going to be really rooting for you. This is reminding me just of our Six of Wands card, where there was a lot of people like looking up at you and being like, oh my God, and they're like cheering you on. I feel like there's going to be a lot of people really excited for you. There's something here where maybe there's like a more bigger announcement that you might have, like again, graduating, getting the job that you want, marriage, family, whatever. There's a lot of people really rooting for you, and I feel like there's a lot of people really invested in your story, and they're kind of like, they're constantly wanting updates. They're like, oh, give me updates. What's happening now? What's going on now? I feel like there's a lot of eyes on you this next year. And eyes on you could also be indicating like the type of next chapter that you're stepping into. Maybe you are stepping into a chapter where more eyes are on you. That could also be taken literally, right? So Yeah. We also have benefactor, grace and generosity. We also have hollow bone, teachability. So you're going to learn new things really fast in this next chapter. So if you are worried about anything at all, about like, can I handle this? Do I have enough skills? Do I have enough knowledge? Am I ready? If you are wondering if you are ready, because again, those couple insecurities that might come up as you enter this new chapter, you are totally ready. And you are going to learn so fast. Teachability, you're going to learn so fast. Benefactor. So there's some sort of thing where you're really benefiting from everything that's happening. There's a lot of benefit coming in through this new phase that you're stepping into. And grace and generosity, I do feel like there's going to be people that are here to help you. Like, this is just making me feel like there's a really good support system. People are being generous. They want to help you. They want to see you succeed. They're like really rooting for you. You have people that are totally rooting for you. And yeah, I just see that you're going to be benefiting off of a lot of things in this next year. Benefactor can indicate that other people, like giving us a grant for student loans, or a benefactor can also be, again, like getting a raise, getting a promotion. You're benefiting off of something that's happening. When we get married, you know, then we both share like expenses and things like that. That's a type of like shared benefit, right? So there's something like this that you are going to be like, you're benefiting from all the different happenstances through this next year, and things are going to feel more prosperous. Things are going to feel more easy because of that. So let's go ahead and dive into our last deck of cards to get any last information for you, my group number 4s, all about this next year. So we have Taurus coming up. Taurus could be a prominent zodiac sign in your life through this next year. So Taurus, sun, moons, and risings, maybe you're even a Taurus, but Taurus can also be talking about the energy that is also really prominent in your life. And Taurus is our material world. It talks about our money and everything material around us. It can also talk about beauty. So this could be things like having a glow up. This could be stuff like renovations in our home, or improving the aesthetic of things that are around us, improving our environment. And then also, again, making more money is also associated with Taurus. It's ruled by the planet Venus, which is the planet of love, beauty, and money. So there could be a lot of things there where you're feeling more grounded when it comes to love, beauty, and money. You're feeling much more secure. You're feeling much more in alignment. And then we also have the 10th house coming up. This one came up from my last group, and it's really interesting that in my last group, we were kind of also talking about like big achievements and possible rewards and stuff. So my group 4s, I almost wonder if some of you were also attracted to group number 3, because there is some crossover here with some of the different things. However, these groups are very different in many, many, many ways. But there are a couple similarities. So I would just find it funny if you were attracted to both groups. But anyway, 10th house, I achieve. This is all about your achievements. It can talk about making a big achievement, which is exactly what 6 of Wands was just talking about. It can also indicate our career, moving up and moving ahead, especially with Taurus here as well. This is a lot more grounding. This is like making more money, finding that our career has more stability, it's more reliable, and having more structure in our life, and achieving goals. So this could be a big goal that you might have. So yeah, definitely there's achievement here happening, my group 4s, which is very exciting. Let's get one last card to end this off. I really feel like that one wants to come out. The Cancer card is coming out. Cancer is our emotional states. It's also our intuition. And I'm seeing that for you, moving into this next year, you're much more tapped into your intuition. Your intuition is guiding you, and it's very strong, and I feel like you're going to trust it so much more. It's just very reliable for you. And intuition is always reliable for all of us, but sometimes we can be like, sometimes we're not tapped in and we're not trusting our intuition. But I feel like for you, this next chapter, it's like you're really in tune and trusting it. Also with Cancer, I feel like you're really focused on emotions and emotional fulfillment, being able to say no to things that are stealing your energy and stealing your emotional fulfillment, and being able to say no to those things. And yeah, I feel like something's really developing here really developing for you. Like this whole new chapter is really developing. And Cancer can sometimes also indicate like emotional connections. So there could be like a beautiful emotional connection coming out, or at least something that's fulfilling for us emotionally in this next year. It's bringing out a lot more of that type of energy. And it's very secure, it's committed. Both of those deal with commitment, and so does the 10th house. So there's a lot of committed energy to fulfillment. Cancer can also resemble family time too. It's connected to our family. It's very connected to the 4th house in astrology, which is our foundation, our connection to family. So there could be something here where we're much more grounded, we feel more successful, we're achieving something within the lines of that. So that is what this indicates, my group number 4s. And it's interesting you're group number 4. We were just talking about the 4th house in astrology. That's interesting. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me here today. I am sending you all so much love, and I wish you an amazing, beautiful, and blessed year, and I'll see you next time. Bye. All right, my group 5s, my last group, we're gonna dive into your reading to find out what your life's gonna be like 1 year from now. So let's get started. My group 5s, let's dive into your reading. So we have the 6 of Cups, the World, the Ace of Swords being reversed, then we have the Hangman and Tower upright. We also have Sacred Union, the Lady of the Gift, and then the Resting Tree. So 1 year from now, one thing I can say, the 6 of Cups over here is this energy of forgiveness. It can also be this energy of like generosity and receiving. It's very much like Lady of the Gift. Generosity, receiving, all of that kind of energy. It's very 6 of Cups. 6 of Cups can also indicate that we're surrounded more by children and our focus is on that. It can also indicate reminiscing or things from our past that we are making peace with and able to release and let go of, and just make that peace. Like we're making peace with the past, okay? We also have the World here, which is like the completion of something. If some of you need closure on anything in your life, if you need closure, or if there has been like family issues or issues with like a partner or anything of the sort, there is closure coming through and the completion of that. You won't have to reach back into the same old shenanigans of the past. That's going to be over, and that is going to be healed, and there's going to be a clean slate with whatever that was. So if you have been experiencing anything within your family or again partnership where there's been anything going on, there's closure, there's forgiveness, there is letting go of that. We also have Ace of Swords being reversed, and this can be where we're able to like finally cut ties with something. Like I feel like you are cutting ties with something that maybe right now you're like, oh, I don't understand how I could cut ties with that. I don't understand how I could let that go because it's reversed at the moment. So at the moment, I feel like you might not be seeing what's to come, but I feel like there's going to be a really big shift for you over this next year. And we have Hangman in the Tower. You're having a huge wake up, a huge like epiphany, realization, perspective shift. This is massive. This is like all of a sudden when we are hit with a huge spiritual awakening and we're like, whoa. And we realize so much all at once, and it creates massive change in our life. And I'm seeing that there's going to be massive big change for you. And it's interesting. We have 3 major arcana cards here. We have the World, which is like the closing of the chapter. It's also getting all of the elements in order, feeling like we are good and fulfilled. And then we also have all of this around a massive perspective shift and a massive change. I think you're going to be changing on a very deep level over this next year, to the point where I feel like you're going to want to make radical big change in your life. And I feel like this is going to be really positive, because it's almost like you're waking up to the idea of like, I don't want to be in this tower forever. I don't want to be stuck here forever. I don't want to be doing the same thing the same day over and over again. And it's this kind of thing that helps us wake up and helps us start moving. If you have felt stuck, this is the energy that wakes us up and gets us moving. It's also the energy that gets us out of our shell and gets us out of our tower. So if we've been feeling like we're just, always stuck at home. Ooh, just got a major message for you. If you feel like you're always kind of stuck in the same routine, the same schedule, always at home or always like, you know, in your own bubble, this is something that's going to be changing. There's going to be a lot of things that start happening that are going to bring you out of that bubble and into something new. Into something new, expanding in the world. I also think that your perspective is shifting, possibly about the world. Maybe your old beliefs that you used to have, your old values, or again, there's just this huge radical shift and epiphany that's going to be happening, and it's going to lead you to a lot more freedom in your life. The Tower lets me know that there was this energy of feeling sort of stuck or bound, stuck in patterns. And I just see that you're going to be shifting out of that and calling in much more expansion into your life. We do also have the card of Sacred Union, which is so interesting. I do feel like there's going to be a potential for romance. So one thing I'll say, if you're already in a committed relationship, the Sacred Union card indicates that that union is becoming stronger, perhaps even going to the next level together. Somehow it's like going to the next level of a relationship if you're already in one. If you are single, Sacred Union, of course, indicates meeting somebody that has amazing potential to create a long-term relationship with. So over this next year, this could also be like the radical shifts, the radical change. So I'm just saying, in my group 5s, there's definite possibility for romance. And I think it's also tied with your ability to kind of forgive the past. As you forgive the past, it's like either your current relationship goes to the next level, or again, if you're single, this is allowing you to open your heart to get out of your tower, to get out of being stuck, and open your heart to romance and love, to somebody that's like, oh my gosh, they just steal my breath away. They take my heart away in the best possible way. We also have Lady of the Gift. There's gifts coming into your life, especially if you felt stuck or closed off, or if you felt just burdened by different things that have been making you feel like things weren't progressing or moving forward. Things are going to start moving forward. And again, Lady of the Gift, generosity, receiving, withholding. It's almost like there was this feeling like either you were withholding your heart a little bit and like, you know, keeping walls up for protection, or it's almost felt as if like you were waiting around for something to happen and it's almost felt like it has been withheld. However, I'm seeing that in this next year, now you're in the receiving. There's generosity, there's partnership, there's romance, there's receiving. Things are moving forward. And we're also able to do so from a place of resting, a place of like calmness. So even after all of this, like, whoo, there's this energy of being able to like breathe, this energy of being able to rest, to be like, yeah, this feels good. I'm so happy that this change happened. I'm so happy that I was forced out of my old patterns, that I was forced out of my old comforts. Because being forced out of these old comforts are going to help you open up to more magic in your life. And it's going to really help you like get things moving, but also be able to be more at peace with life. Yes, things are now moving, but you're also more at a restful state. Even though things, yes, they're starting to move forward, we're more at a restful state because we're at peace with it. And there's going to be a lot of things happening, I feel like, over this next year that really create like a perspective shift for you on things that you used to feel stuck by, or things that you used to hold yourself back from. You're no longer going to be holding yourself back from them. Withholding, we're no longer doing that. The Hangman was that withholding energy, and look at, we have the Tower right after the Hangman. So there's going to be circumstances that really get the ball rolling. They get the ball moving. This is no longer a time of standing still. This is no longer time of staying stuck. This is the time of movement, of creating more peace by moving into this new era. Okay, being able to receive love and being able to generously give love as well. So there's like a beautiful combination here of, I feel like a lot of you, there's like heart opening happening over this next year, and different things where your love life is ascending. Your love life is moving to the next level. So let's see. What else do we get here? My group fives. It's interesting you're also group five. Fives are all about radical shifts and radical change. And that's exactly what we have going on here for you, is like radical shifts, radical changes. Perhaps you're even going through like radical change even right now in your life. And it might be a lot of unknowns. Both of these cards talk about the unknowns, feeling like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? Or kind of dealing with like a lot of things in life that we're learning how to navigate, essentially. We also have Hermitage. So yeah, you're coming out of the hermit stage. Look at that. This is like an awakening to like open up, right? We're no longer living in the tower. I do feel like there might even be opportunities for you to work more remotely. That's also showing up between the world and the tower here. Working more remotely, not having to like go to an office every day, and also having kind of the freedom to work from where you want to. That's sort of coming through here. So I don't know if some of you have had that in mind and have been wanting to do that, but I'm also getting that message here. Being more resourceful when it comes to your time. I also feel like your regular schedule, especially if you felt like you were really bound by that schedule, I feel like there's going to be more freedom in your schedule in this next year. And it's going to be a very positive sort of shift that's going to be happening for you after the fact. So usually when we have all of this, it can kind of feel a little bit chaotic as we're going through it. But just the outcome cards that we have going on over here are so beautiful. And you're going to be so glad that these circumstances pushed you out of your comfort zone and pushed you into more expansion. This is going to really help you like get up and start moving forward in life. And not that you weren't moving forward before. I don't want to make it sound like you weren't moving forward before, but it's just like getting you moving forward in a new way with more expansion and kind of like pushing you to expand and to welcome in more so that you can receive more abundance, so that you can receive more goodness, and so that you're not just living the same day over and over again. I really feel like that has gotten boring for you, living the same day over and over again. It's like we're really wanting some kind of change. And I think the change is, again, going to be so positive for you moving forward. So let's go ahead and dive into more cards for you, my group fives. Let's see, group fives, what else do we have going on 1 year from now? Empty well, so time to replenish. We can never give from an empty cup. We have Horseman coming up, which is all about more freedom. I love that that one's coming up. We also have Sacred Contract coming up. Ooh, so the horse always resembles freedom. The areas in which you were stuck over here and where we were in limbo, freedom. You are freeing yourself from old chains of being stuck or no longer wanting to stay stuck. This is time for you to now replenish your energy and focus on your fulfillment rather than waiting around for something else to occur, rather than waiting for something else to happen. Sacred Contract can indicate that there could be something really important that you're signing. This could be a job offer that you're saying yes to, a new job that's like, oh, we get to be remote and now I get to like, whoo. This could also be where we unexpectedly lose a job, but then it creates all of these circumstances that brings us to a union that we really want. And we're like, oh wait, I am so glad that that happened. I am so glad that that change forced me out, because that change is going to be one of the best things that's ever happened to you. Sacred Contract, this could also be where, you know, all of a sudden we're like forced to move, or we just decide on a whim, like, I am going to move, right? And then we sign a new contract. This could be like a lease or purchasing a home or something like this. But there's something that's kind of forcing you. I feel like it's a little bit of, sometimes when we have Hangman and Tower, the universe is like coming through and forcing change upon us. It can sometimes be conscious, deliberate change on our part. However, I'm getting sort of a feeling from you like, Like the universe is sort of pushing for a change because the universe wants you to know you don't have to stay stuck where you are. There is so much more waiting for you. And anytime that we lose something, it gets replaced by another thing. Because look at your energy as like a full bubble. Anytime that you lose something and it's taken away, it's because that thing actually energetically no longer resonated with you. And that creates a void and a sort of vortex that now calls in the new thing that will resonate with you and will be replacing that. So there is a lot of energy going on through this next year for you, and it might feel like a whirlwind, but it's leading you to a new commitment, something that's so much more meant for you, and it's going to create more freedom in your life. It is going to create more expansion in your life, more feeling of wholeness and fulfillment, especially since we had the empty well, time to replenish. There is something in your life that's felt a little bit empty. And the universe says, my love, you are not meant to live with an empty feeling in your life. You're not meant for that. The universe did not intend that for you, and your soul didn't intend that for yourself either, okay? And I know you know that. Like, yeah, you're meant to fulfill that. So the changes that are coming through over this next year, it's because you're meant for something so much better. You are meant to feel fulfilled, and there is a beautiful, like, commitment coming through. The signing of something new, again, like, this could be a car. This could be a sacred contract such as marriage, a sacred union, a job offer that we are signing, a lease, a mortgage, home ownership. Like, there's so many different things that fall under this sacred contract energy. And I feel like there's just going to be a lot of change in your life and just a brand new opportunity and brand new commitment that's coming through because of that. And it's just going to be like just one of the best things that's ever happened to you. I can really say that. And you're going to be so thankful for it. And it's all because of this sort of like unexpected, very quick, like shift and change. Something is radically no longer in your life. And then it opens the doorway for the thing that is really meant for you, the thing that's so much more in alignment. So let's go ahead and dive into our last deck of cards here, my group fives. Let's see what we get for you. Any last messages? We have square. So this can feel, this is talking about this energy up here, where we might be like, whoa, there's a lot of shifts, there's a lot of changes. It's like when we have these obstacles or when we're making like a full like shift, like, you know, these angles, it's like when we have to turn into an entirely new direction. So this is reminding me of this energy where you have to like pivot. It's a pivot energy. That's the perfect word. So there's going to be a big pivot energy over this next year, but squares are not necessarily a bad thing. When you go through them, it might feel like, whoa, it's a pivot. That's such a, there's so much going on all at once. However, the way that it's leading you, it is going to be so much more beautiful. And I just feel like you're going to be so much more at peace with life, so much more relaxed. There's going to be new commitments coming in, new unions, new partnerships, even new friendships, new things that are just so much more in alignment, so much more better. We have Mercury coming through, and we also have the Vertex card coming through. So Mercury is communication, knowledge, information, curiosity. It can also indicate contracts. It can also talk about short distance travel. So maybe there's going to be, maybe we're moving somewhere and it's like, it's still sort of close to where we live right now, but it's also kind of different. The world can also indicate big travel as well. Mercury indicates more small travel. The world indicates more big travel. So there could be like a combination going on of that, or there could be different opportunities where you get to pick and choose between where you want to be, where you want to end up, where you want to travel to, where you want to go. Mercury is also offers and opportunities. It's also when we're able to communicate about things. This could be talking about that closure or that forgiveness or that peace that we're creating with any past situation. It can also be where we are discussing with our current partner or with a love interest that is in our future, and we're discussing our future and we're discussing how that's going to look together. And We have vertex, which is the karmic point. It is synastry, faded connections, and a turning point. That's exactly what we've been talking about this whole time, the turning point and the pivot within the square. Faded connections. So you're being led to some really faded connections. People that are meant to be in your life. Jobs that you're meant to have. Faded connections with where you're meant to be, where you're meant to live, whatever contract it is that you're signing. These are faded connections. And this is a karmic turning point for you that's going to be so beautiful in helping you shift, because I really feel like you've been needing a shift. And sometimes shifts they feel a bit like a whirlwind, but they are also like so necessary in helping us shift. And especially because like sometimes we ask like I do want my life to change, and I just wish that it would just change overnight and be something different. Well, here we go. Here's the whirlwind. Here's the whirlwind coming through that's going to help create very quick shifts, very fast shifts. And it might feel like a whirlwind. However, it is bringing you somewhere so much more sacred unions, sacred contracts, things that are so much more meant for you in your life, and leading to so much more freedom rather than feeling chained and stuck in the same four walls, in the same structure every day. That's changing for you. And that's going to feel amazing. So my group fives, that is what we have going on here for you, for your next year. There's a lot of energy. And one thing I have to say, I don't want you to feel overwhelmed by this. Like, this is going to be so beautiful for you, especially as you see how many good things are in store for you and what's truly meant for you. This is all happening because you are meant to live a fulfilled life. You are not meant to feel like an empty well, or to feel like there's something missing, or to feel unfulfilled. You're not meant to do that. And so the universe is stepping in. You're also waking up to the idea of like, you know what? Yeah, change is going to be amazing. And so I really see that this is going to be such a beautiful, like, faded turning point for you that is just so meant to be, to help bring you to your peace, to what you're meant to be connected to. And I think that it's just going to be, like, overall such a blessing. And you're going to see and appreciate this blessing so much as you see all that the universe has in store for you on the other side of this. So my group fives, that is what we have here. My lovely selenite group, one thing that I'll talk to you guys about, I always get these comments that you guys love when I talk about the crystal meanings too. So selenite is a cleansing and recharging crystal. It cleanses and recharges. It's a very high vibrational crystal that never needs to be cleansed itself. Other crystals, such as quartz, need to be regularly cleansed because they can take on energies and absorb energies, and it influences their thing. Anyway, selenite does not take on negative energies, but it does cleanse them. It dissipates them. It transmutes them into light. And I feel like this is a metaphor of your energy. You are such a beautiful being, and all of the things that are going to be happening, the whirlwind, you're transmuting it into light. You're going to be transmuting it into such positivity. And I feel like you have an internal knack for that, my selenite group. Like, I wouldn't even be surprised if you're going to get drawn to selenite over this next year, because selenite is just such a powerful crystal to work with. It helps with cleansing energies. It helps us with transformations. It also helps us raise our frequency and our vibe, and it helps us feel amazing, and it also helps us recharge our energy. So if we ever feel drained or stuck, it helps us recharge, and it also helps other crystals recharge. So if you like place it on another crystal or anything like that, it will help that crystal cleanse and recharge. I always actually keep my jewelry, especially my crystal jewelry, in selenite dishes. Like I have these like selenite bowls around my house that I keep my crystal jewelry in, because it will cleanse the energies that that crystal has picked up on throughout the day. And then it will also recharge that crystal so that it's at its peak amplification. Anyway, just giving you a little backstory on the crystal selenite. So that's what it does. But I feel like this is such a powerful crystal for you right now because it's talking about your energy and how you're going to be transmuting energy through this next year. And it's going to be very positive. This is all about you stepping into more of those high vibrations, stepping into that highest version of yourself, because you are not meant to stay stuck. And that is like the biggest message that's coming through right now. So my group 5s, that is what we have over this next year for you. That's what your life is going to be like. I feel like all of this stuff is actually like right around the corner for you, or you might even be experiencing some of these energies right now. And then next year, I see that you're already going to be in this place where you're like signing these contracts, you're making these connections, these unions with positivity and feeling so much more free. Like you might even be experiencing this whirlwind at the moment, and that's not going to last very long. This is very quick. A lot of those whirlwind energies, they're very fast, and it's like a huge pivot. So you're not in the pivot energy for long until you're already going down a new path. And I just feel like this is going to be like very quick for you in shifting your path and getting you in alignment with what resonates with you the most, the things that are going to provide so much more fulfillment for you. So anyway, I know I'm kind of going off right now, but just wanted to add that in there for a little bit more clarity and all of that. But I am sending you so much love. Thank you so much for joining me here today for this video, my beautiful group number 5s. I'm so excited for you, and the fact that you're going to be inviting in so much more of what is meant for you. So I'm sending you so much love. I also want to mention, okay, last thing that I'm going to mention, sorry, I just keep going off. This sacred union, you are connecting also with all sorts of partnerships. This is business partnerships, romantic partnerships, friendship partnerships that are very sacred, and they're very supportive, and they make you feel more like, they just make you feel so good. And the communication with them is very strong. And it's like we're on the same page, and there's going to be really fun things happening in the realm of relationships for you over this next year. So anyway, just wanted to add that in there. This card can also indicate marriage for some of you that are wondering about that. So if you already have a partnership, or if you just started talking to somebody that feels like they could be the one, sacred union can indicate that, again, we're going to the next level with those relationships. So anyway, to end this reading off, yeah, I'm sure you guys get the point of the reading, and yeah, that is what we have here. Thank you so much for joining me here for today's video. I am sending you so much love, and until next time, bye.